Chapter 649, End of a Cheapskate. It starts in the middle of the night. Lily and SpongeBob were looking over Mr. Krabs' personal information. Lily was starting to notice that Mr. Krabs is a pathological liar and his greed has risen to whole new heights. SpongeBob, so you see Lily, Mr. Krabs may be the owner of the Krusty Krabs, but he is a cheapskate that only cares about one thing, money. Lily, he's like Flip. He was like Mr. Krabs in every way possible. If we stop him, we can have you become the owner of the Krusty Krabs and bring his greed down. They went to the computer and saw that Mr. Krabs had done so many crimes that it makes even Plankton himself look like a joke. The crimes he did are as follows, and they appear in the following episodes. Pizza delivery. He antagonized Squidward by making him deliver the Krusty Krab pizza with SpongeBob. This marks the first time Mr. Krabs acted antagonistic. This is also a labor law violation because it was closing time before the pizza order even began. Lily, a Krabby Patty pizza sounds tasty. SpongeBob, oh, it is delicious, Lily. Lily, maybe I should bring one home for the family. Squeaky boots. He took SpongeBob's boots away from him because of the squeaky noise. The squeaky noise hallucination forced him to tell the truth, similar to the narrator of The Telltale Heart, eating them, and at the end of the episode, he got hiccups sounding exactly like the squeaky noise of the boots. Lily, I would call that as an act of karma. SpongeBob, me too. Scaredy Pants. He pranked SpongeBob with a ghost story with aid from Squidward just for amusement. This shows that Mr. Krabs is also a sadistic bully. Lily, what a bully. And I thought Lewin's pranks were bad enough on April Fool's Day. No offense, Mr. Squarepants. I know April Fool's Day is your favorite holiday. SpongeBob, none taken, Lily. But yet I know what you mean. But those pranks your sister did were really dangerous. Lily, that was before I started working for you. Arg, this is the first episode where Krabs is entirely the main antagonist of an episode. His first notorious deed was he hired Patrick just so he can fire him. Then, he kept harassing SpongeBob and intruded his pineapple house just to keep playing the board game, as while SpongeBob is exhausted and wants to go to sleep. The next morning, Mr. Krabs gets SpongeBob and Patrick to be pirates and help him find the Flying Dutchman's treasure. He becomes a tyrannical control freak towards the two, condemning them that they're tired and hungry from the treasure hunt, then makes them sleep on the cold ground while he himself gets a warm tent. The two eventually see that Mr. Krabs was using their game board as a map and that he wanted the treasure for himself. SpongeBob and Patrick then finally get fed up with Krabs' greed and fight over the treasure chest. Then when the Flying Dutchman gets angered at how loud their arguing is and that they dug up his treasure, Krabs immediately incriminates SpongeBob and Patrick. In a twist of irony, the Dutchman rewards the latter two with actual gold doubloons and only gives plastic to Krabs. Lily, what a jerk of a pirate. But Nicole loves treasure hunts. SpongeBob, that was a fun adventure. Hooky humiliated SpongeBob in front of his daughter Pearl and her friends by stripping him naked. Lily, that was so mean. SpongeBob, I've never been so humiliated in all my life. Neptune's spatula. After telling SpongeBob he has full confidence that SpongeBob will win the Fry Cook challenge, Mr. Krabs bets all his money on Neptune winning. However, SpongeBob was declared the winner and Mr. Krabs started crying. SpongeBob, thinking Krabs is crying since the former is being forced by Neptune to move to Atlantis to be a fry cook, tries to assure Krabs, I'll miss you too, but Mr. Krabs complains he's crying about losing all his money. Lily, he bet on you? That is sick. SpongeBob, but I did get to teach King Neptune how to make Krabby Patties the right way. Lily, that's good. Bubble Buddy, makes Squidward cater to Bubble Buddy, threatening to make his life miserable otherwise. Later he joins Squidward and everyone else in popping Bubble Buddy because SpongeBob had paid Krabs in worthless bubble money for expensive services and food until they found out he was alive. Lily, Squidward I can accept because he's a worthless loser. SpongeBob, he may be a loser, but Mr. Krabs already made his life miserable more than it is. Lily, true. Patty Hype takes over SpongeBob's Pretty Patties stand so he can earn money, even though he and Squidward laughed at SpongeBob earlier about the Pretty Patties. However, the Pretty Patties turned out to have side effects that angered the customers. After pointing out the patties added unnatural color to their appearances and demanding refunds, Mr. Krabs then ran away screaming in fear, because he's worried he'll lose his money, not because the crowd is angry at him. The angry mob of color-mutated fish may have caught up on Mr. Krabs and physically beat him up. Lily, you sold colored Krabby Patties? SpongeBob, I sure did, Lily, and they were a success. 46,853 customers. Lily, wow. That's a lot of customers. SpongeBob, it sure was a lot. Lily, looks like karma got him again. In a rainbow justifiable way. Lily and SpongeBob laughed. Life of crime steals various objects from people and lies to SpongeBob and Patrick about borrowing. The lesson he taught them caused them to fight after a candy bar incident and the lollipop incident. Patrick also accused the policeman. Lily, he stole lots of stuff and lied to you and Patrick? What a thief. SpongeBob, I know, and it was Free Balloon Day that day. Lily, that was a misunderstanding. You didn't know it was Free Balloon Day. Pressure joined Squidward, SpongeBob and Patrick into mocking Sandy just to prove that sea creatures are more superior. Lily, I may be a human and breathe in both air and water, but that is too far. I think land and sea creatures are both amazing regardless. SpongeBob, that's very grand of you to say that, Lily. The smoking peanut, Mr. Krabs steals Clamu's pearl and abuses Free Day. SpongeBob believed he was the one who did it, but it was Patrick who became the scapegoat and people threw peanuts at him as revenge. The zookeeper explains Mr. Krabs angered Clamu by stealing her egg, containing a baby clam. Mr. Krabs doesn't apologize, only making up the excuse, but it's Free Day. And the fish all throw peanuts at him. Off-screen, Mr. Krabs presumably was arrested by the police for petty theft. Lily, boy, Mr. Krabs loves the word free, but even I wouldn't abuse Free Day like that. SpongeBob, me neither. Lily, and he took Clamu's pearl? What a jerk. Graveyard shift made his employees work 24 hours without a break or hiring extra employees for the night shift, much to Squidward's dismay. Lily, that's another labor law broken. If I worked for 24 hours non-stop, I would be so tired I couldn't even move. Sailor Mouth, he used foul language along with SpongeBob and Patrick after explaining to them about swearing and was about to punish them by making them paint the restaurant. However, this only began when he stubbed his foot and lost his temper from the pain. Lily, I think we need to wash his mouth out with soap. Dish soap. SpongeBob, that sounds too poisonous, Lily. Lily, you're right. Bar soap is just fine. Jellyfish Hunter tricks SpongeBob into collecting jellyfish. SpongeBob soon discovers that Mr. Krabs is squeezing jelly out of them so more jelly Krabby Patties can be made. This even kills off lots of jellyfish up to where the factory resorted to using barrels to store their dead bodies. The jellyfish are set free and sting Mr. Krabs all at once, burning and electrocuting his body. He has no choice but to take jelly off the menu. Lily, he made you catch all those jellyfish for a sweatshop? That is completely inhumane. SpongeBob, I know. It was the most despicable thing he has ever done to jellyfish. Lily, I love jellyfishing just as much as you do, Mr. Squarepants. Squid on strike forcefully charges his employees for their slacking, even though the stuff they did on the slacking list were needed to do their jobs, such as existing, talking, standing, and fired both of them. After SpongeBob destroyed the Krusty Krab in revenge, Mr. Krabs forces him and Squidward to pay for the damages by working for him forever. Lily, Mr. Squarepants, is the Krusty Krab unionized? SpongeBob, I don't think so, Lily. Lily, more labor laws broken by Mr. Krabs. We'll unionize the Krusty Krabs after this. My pretty seahorse. Mr. Krabs tried to get rid of Mystery, in which SpongeBob tries to hide her from him and Squidward. He told SpongeBob about a story about losing a friend, actually $1 he spent on soda, which inspired SpongeBob to release Mystery into the wild. It should be noted that Mr. Krabs wished for Mystery to be given up as he noticed she was not enjoying her unnatural surroundings and did console SpongeBob when he tearfully gave up Mystery, stating he had done the right thing for her. After Mystery does gallop away, Mr. Krabs tries to comfort SpongeBob, who is lamenting her. As Krabs is in a good mood about having gotten rid of Mystery, Squidward teases that Mystery managed to eat the Krusty Krab's cash reserves, and therefore Krabs yells at SpongeBob to quickly get her back. The audience can imply that SpongeBob and Mr. Krabs never found Mystery since she didn't make another appearance, and so Mr. Krabs never recovered the money she ate. Lily, animal cruelty to his list. What a jerk. Nasty Patty forces SpongeBob to help him make a nasty patty, because he thought the health inspector in his restaurant was a phony. He along with SpongeBob try to get rid of the body which was still alive, getting the health inspector injured more and more. Lily, the nasty patty? Gross. And you guys thought you killed the health inspector? SpongeBob, yeah, we had no idea. We thought he was a phony. Lily, that's a simple misunderstanding taken way too far. As JD would say, that burger would taste and smell worse than puke. They laughed. Lily, but making a burger that is that rotten is a major health code violation. The Sponge Who Could Fly lost episode. Mr. Krabs along with everyone else in Bikini Bottom took advantage of SpongeBob and his flying pants by making him do their favors. Lily, that is not right. Being taken advantage of like that is sick. I would never do that to you, Mr. SquarePants. SpongeBob, thanks Lily. One Krabs trash. Mr. Krabs tries to take back a soda drinking hat he sold to SpongeBob after hearing about its price. He scares SpongeBob out of it with a paper ghost and defiles a grave to get it back, only to find out it was worthless. He also kills an army of skeleton people who just wanted the hat back. Lily, grave robbing. Another bad crime. But I think that curse was all a bunch of nonsense. SpongeBob, I have a feeling you're right, Lily. Can you spare a dime? Accuses Squidward for stealing his first dime, until SpongeBob shakes him. He then accuses Squidward for putting the dime in his pants at the end of the episode. Lily, I heard he has a caveman wheel for a dime. SpongeBob, he sure does, Lily. He was in business for a long time. Lily, he sure jumped to conclusions, didn't he? Wet painters, asks SpongeBob and Patrick to paint the walls of his house and messes with them by scaring them into thinking the paint they were using was permanent, and tells them if any paint got onto anything but wall, he would chop their butts off. After they get some on his first $1, he licks it off and confesses his lie and that it comes off with saliva, and laughs while the two walk out angrily. He ruins SpongeBob and Patrick's work by laughing about his own joke, causing saliva to hit the walls. It was noted that his first $1 came from his childhood. Lily, he threatened to cut off yours and Patrick's butts? That is disgusting. Without a butt you can't even go to the bathroom. SpongeBob, yeah, but I found out that because I'm a sponge and Patrick is a starfish we can grow our limbs back. Lily, well, that's a relief. Clams, he throws away the food made SpongeBob and Squidward stay in the fishing boat, and holds them hostage to get back his millionth $1 from a giant clam. It gets worse when he refuses to take another $1 Squidward had. He gets his $1 back after trading his body with the clam. Lily, he tried to feed you and Squidward to a giant clam? What a maniac. SpongeBob, no kidding. Lily, and all because he lost a stupid $1. Born Again Krabs tries to sell a rotten Krabby Patty to customers. He gets sick after eating it and is persuaded to be generous by the Flying Dutchman. However, after realizing it wasn't a dream, he steals back toys from children, soda from a customer, stopped another customer from watching free TV, nearly rips someone's arm off for a penny, and trades SpongeBob's soul for 62 cents. Squidward was the one who was horrified that Mr. Krabs would sell SpongeBob's soul, especially when SpongeBob defended Krabs. Lily, he tried to sell a rotten Krabby Patty to customers and he sold you for 62 cents? What a monster. More health code violations. That is botulism. SpongeBob, yet. Lily, I think Mr. Krabs deserves far worse than Davy Jones' locker. Krabby Land creates a bogus theme park and masquerades as a clown so he can collect children's money. This brings SpongeBob to tears, and the children beat Mr. Krabs up and take his money after finding out he didn't care one bit about them, only their money. As punishment for his scam, Mr. Krabs gets forced to eat a truckload of lima beans. Lily, he tried to con kids? What a thief. SpongeBob, you said it. Lily, but at least he got what was coming to him with lima beans. Fear of a Krabby Patty makes the Krusty Krab open for 24 hours, making Squidward upset, and SpongeBob fearing Krabby Patties. Lily, he made you afraid of Krabby Patties? SpongeBob, yet. He kept us up for 43 whole days without a break and it made us so tired and insane we couldn't even think straight. Lily, more labor and health violations. But did you ever think that the order you got for 10,000 Krabby Patties was a prank? SpongeBob, not really Lily. Krusty Towers plagiarizes the motto of the hotel he visited into the Krusty Towers, making Squidward miserable. Squidward quit and returned as a customer, ragging Mr. Krabs the same way he did with him. At the end of the episode, he decides to build a hospital and force his employees to become doctors, making Squidward miserable again. Lily, stealing a good hotel slogan. What a thief. Bummer Vacation keeps SpongeBob away from the Krusty Krab to avoid paying a fine to the Fry Cook Labor Union, eventually leaving him lost in the forest. Doing so, he managed to save 5 cents, more than what SpongeBob makes in a year. Lily, more labor law violations. How much vacation time did you accumulate? SpongeBob, I don't know. Lily. Born to be wild, invites the mild ones to the Krusty Krab much to SpongeBob's chagrin. Counts as an antagonism because SpongeBob still mistook the mild ones as the wild ones. Lily, he tried to invite a motorcycle gang that you thought was going to destroy the city to exploit them? That is sick. SpongeBob, yeah, but they weren't who I thought. Lily, another misunderstanding. But it's still inexcusable. Money talks, does not listen to his money when they want to be spent on objects. He also kicks an elderly couple out of their seat after being bribed by a fish who wanted the seat. This episode also shows that he has sold his soul to many demons, depressing the Flying Dutchman. He also sold his soul to SpongeBob because he was 5 cents short on payday. Lily, you own Mr. Krabs' soul, Mr. SquarePants? SpongeBob, yeah, but I don't need it anymore. The Krusty Sponge, Mr. Krabs makes Squidward cook spongy patties, rotten patties, thus poisoning the customers and bringing himself to court. He made Squidward ride the judge around on a train to pay. Lily, he poisoned customers with rotten patties? Yug. SpongeBob, yet. Whatever happened to SpongeBob? He forced SpongeBob to leave Bikini Bottom forever, along with Squidward, Sandy, and Patrick. Lily, that wasn't nice. SpongeBob, yet I don't know what I was thinking after that. Lily, what did you do that would cause them to kick you out of Bikini Bottom? SpongeBob, I was a klutz and they called me Idiot Boy. Lily, oh gosh. I'm sorry, Mr. SquarePants. Atlantis SquarePantis opened an illegal stand by a museum, which had free admission, and forced an old woman to pay for entering. Then the woman told a guard on him, causing Mr. Krabs to run away from him. Lily, what a con artist. Penny foolish, Mr. Krabs sees SpongeBob picking up a penny, which was actually $500 bill, and tries various plans to take it from him, even to the point of breaking into SpongeBob's house with a metal detector. Lily, he broke into your house with a metal detector just for a penny. SpongeBob, yet. But it was a $500 bill. Lily, If he just wanted a penny you could have given it to him. SpongeBob, I know Lily. Patty Caper, he stole the secret ingredient of the secret formula, so he wouldn't have to pay for delivery, $1.99, and tried to frame SpongeBob for it to the police. As punishment, he was forced to sell free Krabby Patties all day and watch it go down. Lily, grand theft. Another bad crime. SpongeBob, yet it was all a wild goose chase. Plankton's regular, grows jealous of Plankton having a regular customer, even though he gets way more, and tries to steal his secret recipe. It was later revealed that the customer was only eating at the chum bucket to get paid, and Plankton started crying over his failure once again while Mr. Krabs watched with joy. Lily, Plankton I could care less about. Then again if I ate at the chum bucket I would have to have my stomach pumped. Krabby Chronicle, creates a newspaper and makes SpongeBob write lies about people, ruining their lives. SpongeBob tries to stop but Mr. Krabs threatens to take away his spatula. When SpongeBob exposes his Mr. Krabs scheme, an enraged crowd, including Plankton, steals his money. However, $1 is left behind and he puts it on the newspaper printer creating counterfeit cash. Lily, counterfeiting is a federal offense and forcing you to write and spread all those lies is despicable. The Slumber Party, makes SpongeBob spy on Pearl and her friends. Pearl's party is ruined and Mr. Krabs was forced to spend his money for a new party at Goo Lagoon. Lily, if you ask me Mr. Squarepants, I don't think Mr. Krabs loves Pearl at all. SpongeBob, I agree. Pearl told me that he ruined all of her birthdays by being cheap. Lily, what a tightwad. I can't believe that Mr. Krabs ruined Pearl's birthday 16 times in a row. He has no love for his daughter. Krusty Crushers, puts SpongeBob and Patrick in danger of being killed by huge wrestlers so he can earn the $1 million prize. However, at the end of the fight, SpongeBob and Patrick choose Wrestle Camp instead, much to Mr. Krabs' dismay. Lily, attempted murder. What a jerk. No hat for Pat, made a fortune when Patrick kept falling on his face, disappointing SpongeBob. Eventually, he made Patrick fall into a bucket of spiny sea urchins and while Squidward was falling, he charged the customers more money to watch them both get hurt. People took their money back, because only Squidward was hurt and not Patrick. Also, he made Patrick cry by firing him and taking his Krusty Krab hat away. Lily, assault and battery. Patrick could have gotten a major concussion from all that. SpongeBob, actually Patrick doesn't have that big of a brain. Lily, oh. Greasy buffoons. He and Plankton sell customers greasy food, mostly just grease period. This eventually turns people, including Patrick, into overweight, mindless zombies. SpongeBob calls a health inspector, resulting in both the Krusty Krab and the chum bucket being shut down until the grease was cleaned up. Lily, major health violation. Grease is pure fat and it will cause a lot of heart attacks. Cracked crabs. Mr. Krabs charged everyone $1 per footstep as shown in a videotape. Lily, swindling. Growth spout. He steals numerous food items from characters' houses. Though he only does so to satisfy Pearl's extreme hunger. One-course meal. On discovering Plankton's crippling fear of whales, Mr. Krabs dresses up as Pearl and terrorizes Plankton for 17 days. He scares Plankton into being too scared to eat dinner, having nightmares, and even trying to commit suicide. It was shown he was cruelly enjoying and even laughing at Plankton's anguish and responded gleefully and uncaring when informed Plankton was trying to kill himself. Lily was shocked. Lily, he tried to get Plankton to kill himself after tormenting him with his fear of whales and didn't care if he died? What a heartless monster. SpongeBob, yet and nobody told anyone about it. Lily, I may not care about Plankton but that is disgusting. All that's about to change Mr. Squarepants. Mrs. Puff and Plankton may not have done so many bad things like Mr. Krabs has done, but Mr. Krabs is the worst ever. The play's the thing. Mr. Krabs made money by letting customers throw objects and food at his employees. Lily, More assault and battery. The scent of money. Mr. Krabs uses Gary as a coin magnet. He steals everyone's money, brings Gary to exhaustion, all the while completely ignoring or writing off the poor animal's suffering, and distracts SpongeBob by giving him tedious chores. Mr. Krabs is soon crushed by a tidal wave of money and put in the hospital, where every cent he collected is used up to pay his bill. Lily, Gary accidentally swallowed one of your fridge magnets. SpongeBob, yeah, it was my Mermaidman and Barnacle Boy fridge magnet. It was a pretty powerful magnet. Lily, from the looks of it I believe it. The curse of the hex, refused to let Madam Hagfish have a Krabby Patty and takes away the Krabby Patties SpongeBob made for Madam Hagfish. Lily, what a jerk. The wreck of the Mauna Loa, Mr. Krabs gives away SpongeBob and Patrick's secret hideout by turning it into an amusement park ride. Most of the people had a severe accident and Mr. Krabs was arrested. Tentacle Vision, Mr. Krabs ran an illegal commercial on Squidward's show and had stated on his illegal commercial that he wants to take people's money. The Googly Artiste adds artistic advice on the menu for $25 after Squidward said it wasn't on the menu, and forces him to give advice to Patrick. Then while Mr. Krabs was scolding Patrick and SpongeBob for taking his customers from him and selling merchandise made from his own, which was illegal, Patrick explained to Mr. Krabs that he was trying to follow Squidward's advice, making Mr. Krabs blame Squidward for being responsible for his actions. Then Mr. Krabs agrees to let Patrick sell his art, but only he gets paid, and gets Squidward to be his student. Barnacle Face decides not to help Pearl with her barnacle problem. It was soon revealed that he used Krabby Patty grease to make the soap used by Pearl, thus revealing the cause for the barnacle problem. He loses his diamonds because of this and tries to run after Pearl for his diamonds. Lily, you making soap from Krabby Patty grease? That can't be good for your skin. The Krabby Patty that ate Bikini Bottom steals growth serum from Sandy's house so he could test it on a Krabby Patty to increase the success in his business. This results in a monstrous Krabby Patty creature wreaking havoc. In Spongiac, snaps at SpongeBob and being picky at his work, like too much mustard, 101%, and saying the way that he filps Krabby Patties is wrong and kicks him out to get some sleep for he believes he's wasting his profits, claiming that he'd be broke in 411 years. Then after seeing SpongeBob crying out the right amount of mustard, he starts saying it's a terrible thing just to make him cry more. Lily, you're not an insomniac, are you, Mr. Squarepants? SpongeBob, no thank goodness. Lily, well that's a relief. Mr. Krabs is a pathological liar. Hello Bikini Bottom, when Colonel Carver promotes SpongeBob and Squidward to become a band, Mr. Krabs steals this band for the money they would bring in. He also steals his sound equipment, since his equipment was sabotaged, and takes things from several other people. Basically, he denies Squidward and SpongeBob their happiness, Squidward from performing in concerts and SpongeBob from the Krusty Krab, since he sold it. Patrick Mann, he was about to carry groceries for an old woman crossing the street, who is actually the Dirty Bubble in disguise, when he spots $1, and then it blows away making him chase after it, leaving the old woman behind in the middle of the crosswalk trapped in the middle of cars passing by. Squid Baby doesn't show sympathy for Squidward who was suffering from head go boom boomitis. Lily, head go boom boomitis? What the heck is that? SpongeBob, Squidward hit his head on my mailbox and got a nasty big head that turned him into a baby. It would have cost him to stay that way forever had he got any more damage. Lily, ouch. And Mr. Krabs didn't show any sympathy? What a jerk. Safe Deposit Krabs tried to take money from the Bikini Bottom Bank, but was kicked out twice. Then he got locked into the money safe, becoming savage from hallucinations. Lily, robbery. What a monster. SpongeBob, you are fired. Fires SpongeBob to save a nickel. He later relents and rehires SpongeBob after his own horrendous cooking almost destroys his business. He solves the nickel problem by installing a pay toilet. Lily, Mr. Krabs fired you to save a nickel? What a monster tightwad. SpongeBob, yet. Tutor Sauce. His driving methods to SpongeBob were illegal. He mentions that he taught Pearl how to drive without her needing a license. After using Gary to stir the wheel to help SpongeBob, the police checks on them. Mr. Krabs tells the officer that he isn't a registered driving instructor to where instead of getting a ticket, or even having SpongeBob paying for it, he gets to be a student at Mrs. Puff's boating school to his shock. What's Eating Patrick? Teaches Patrick how to eat in order to win the eating contest, even in means of depriving him from tasting the patties. During the contest, Patrick tries to leave because he was tired of not tasting, only for Krabs to tell him if he does, he bills him, stating that all the training patties become eating patties. While Krabs' threat to Patrick held some morality, such as how the boy and the rest of the town would be upset if they lost the contest yet again, his methods were still harsh to Patrick's esteem of eating. The sewers of Bikini Bottom, he, along with Krupski, showed no concern about the customers' safety at the stadium and cared less about the consequences when the plumbing system begins to go haywire. Larry's Gym. After overhearing Larry about that the opening of the gym is free only for today, Mr. Krabs takes advantage of the opportunity and stays there thoroughly. He even taunts Larry several times, especially when he becomes unfit. However, at the end of the episode, Mr. Krabs becomes cooked from staying in the sauna and preserves from abusing the opportunity. LaMay and Fortune. After Squidward won money as an award for being the most miserable cashier thanks to a fortune cookie, Krabs took the money from Squidward abrasively stating "me register, me money," also considered stealing, making Squidward miserable again. Bulletin board. He intended on hitting a nice old lady after she refused to tell everyone about her satisfaction. But luckily, he was immediately stopped by SpongeBob. Mutiny on the Krusty. Acted like a tyrant and abused his power throughout the episode. He cared less about the rip current that's endangering everyone, and the only thing he cared about was having his customers spend their money in his restaurant, mostly out of petty crankiness due to the fact that this was the day that he must pay his employees for their service. He even berated and belittled the customers and his workers after being called tyrant and claimed himself as the captain of the restaurant, much to everyone's disdain. He even acted like a spoiled child when he selfishly refused to save the customers from the monster. However, SpongeBob managed to get him to his senses when he almost spent his first dime on candy. At the end of the episode, he forced Squidward and the customers to push the Krusty Krab back to Bikini Bottom, despite performing a heroic act of saving them from a sea monster. Lily. Mr. Krabs is a monster and a major league jerk. He doesn't deserve to be a boss or a restaurant manager. Krusty Catering. Lied to a high-class lady about being a high-class caterer just so he can get her check, but he did cater for her party, which Patrick ruined in the end. SpongeBob's Place. He becomes jealous of SpongeBob for getting all the customers' attention. He tries to get rid of him by lying about the restaurant being haunted with ghosts. He tries to cook the same way SpongeBob does, but this fails. He goes over the edge when he traps the customers by putting a river of lava around the restaurant. But this also fails when the customers stretched him into a bridge for them to cross, which resulted in him getting burned, which is considered karma. Out of the picture. Tried to murder Squidward to make the latter's horrible art, which Mr. Krabs had purchased for a few pennies, more valuable. Spin the bottle. He selfishly demands the bottle to use it for corruptive matters. Lily. What kind of bottle was he trying to use? SpongeBob. It was a genie bottle. Lily. I love genies. But that is mean and sick. There's a sponge in my soup. He grabs some rotten food from the trash cans in order to make the Krabby soup. Lily. Oh, that is disgusting. Sanitation insanity. He cared less about the punishment he got from the trash inspectors and forces SpongeBob and Squidward to clean up the mess for him. When he sees them in a trash fight with Patrick, he blatantly lies that they are ruining his hard work, even though he did not clean up any trash. Soon, he gets involved with the trash fight. Luckily, the trash inspectors puts their fight to a stop and Mr. Krabs sadly accepts the punishment by helping SpongeBob, Patrick, and Squidward clean up the trash, even though Patrick is not seen with them. Pat the horse. He forced Patrick to carry a lot of kids on his back to make money. He even did the same thing with Squidward and bragged SpongeBob that his horse is better than Patrick. He and SpongeBob challenged to a race to see who gets to deliver the food to a customer at Black Devil Bay first. During the race, he cheated in hopes of winning even though Sandy told them not to, which means that Mr. Krabs doesn't want to play fair. He even impersonated an officer during the race, which almost led him to getting arrested by the police. He eventually wins the race, but gets the punishment he deserves when Patrick steals his arms and starts acting like a real crab. Bottle burglars. He stuffs both SpongeBob and Squidward in the safe of the Krabby Patty formula as his new security system. This is yet another time he abuses his workers. Shopping list. He gives SpongeBob a phony shopping list containing strange, exotic items and sends him and Sandy on a dangerous but pointless mission to retrieve them. When Plankton steals the fake ingredients, he revealed that he wanted SpongeBob to keep Plankton away from him just so he can go shopping for the real ingredients at the Bargain Mart. Which meant that he lied about the supposed apocalypse if SpongeBob loses the list. Sandy gets really mad at Mr. Krabs since his stupid little ruse almost got her and SpongeBob killed, and it costed the loss of her tail and her submarine. Mr. Krabs gets the karma he deserves when Sandy beats him up in his office, takes his bag of money, and sends him flying out through the roof of his restaurant as payback for deceiving his employee. He even admits his defeat at the end when he says to himself, "Well, I guess I had that coming." Whale watching. He imprisons Pearl in his own home by barricading everything with prison bars when she was intending on going to a teen party. He even threatened Squidward, who was hired to babysit Pearl, that if anything happens to his daughter while he's away, he'll have SpongeBob torment him for the rest of his life. The SpongeBob movie, Sponge Out of Water. In this sequel to the SpongeBob SquarePants movie, Mr. Krabs committed several heinous acts, making himself different from his more innocent self in the previous movie. Examples are down below. Mr. Krabs and numerous Krusty Krab customers constantly tease Plankton, who is actually a robotic decoy of him, thinking that he's suffered from another failure to steal the Krabby Patty secret formula. After SpongeBob and Plankton see the secret formula surprisingly disappear, Mr. Krabs shows up and accuses Plankton of stealing it, even though Plankton truthfully said that he didn't do it. Mr. Krabs wouldn't listen, even when SpongeBob was defending him that he's telling the truth, and traps Plankton in tape and tells a knock-knock joke to make SpongeBob do his signature laughter and torture Plankton, forcing him to tell where the secret formula is. Then, while Mr. Krabs and the Bikini Bottom citizens attempt to attack him, SpongeBob rescues him with a giant bubble. Mr. Krabs instantly thinks that SpongeBob has been a double agent working for him and Plankton all these years as they both float away. Mr. Krabs then becomes a leader of a savage group of apocalyptic sufferers. Then, while they were planning a sacrifice for the burger gods, which a savage Sandy explained, SpongeBob and Plankton return from time traveling. Then, even when SpongeBob tried to convince the people how savage they've become with the formula missing, Mr. Krabs and the rest attempt to sacrifice SpongeBob by having him get squashed by a falling burger bun-shaped stone. SpongeBob smelled the familiar scent of Krabby Patties coming from the outside surface, which is coming from Burger Beard, who's the one that really stole the formula. Then, as the stone is about to fall on SpongeBob, Mr. Krabs stops it after he and the others smell the scent as well, as they aid SpongeBob to follow the scent. Mr. Krabs notices that Burger Beard is selling his Krabby Patties for $8.99 and says to himself, "Why didn't I think of that?" During the end credits, he pulls Patrick's wallet out of his pocket. Battle for Bikini Bottom. He has a large possession of golden spatulas which he knows are needed for Bikini Bottom to be saved, but refuses to let SpongeBob have them unless he trades them for a large quantity of shiny objects. When SpongeBob reluctantly disagrees to give him a hard-earned golden spatula, Mr. Krabs makes SpongeBob's break time at work -5 minutes, effectively meaning he has no break and has to work an extra 5 minutes. After having bought all the golden spatulas Mr. Krabs has, the player can still talk with him. However, he only ever says the one thing: "The only good robot is the one that's given me them shiny objects." This is a subtle reference to the possibility that Mr. Krabs thinks of SpongeBob as a robot, which is actually another word for slave. Lily, the police are in for a major surprise when they find out about all of this. Mr. Squarepants, do you have photos of all these things Mr. Krabs did? SpongeBob, I sure do, Lily. Lily, we'll need those as evidence. And they do say a picture is worth 1,000 words. SpongeBob, good idea. Lily printed the crimes Mr. Krabs did and SpongeBob got the pictures. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. The next day, as Mr. Krabs was watching the customers eat, the police stormed the Krusty Krab and entered, and they placed Mr. Krabs in handcuffs. Mr. Krabs, what's going on here? Officer, Eugene H. Krabs, you're under arrest for counterfeiting, theft, attempted murder, human trafficking, animal cruelty, assault and battery, numerous health code violations, slave driving, and forcing your employees to work 24/7 with no breaks. Mr. Krabs, what? You can't do this. You can't take me to the pokey. Officer Nancy, yeah. Tell it to the judge, Cheapskate. Let's go, Krabs. They took him away. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. The People's Court theme plays. Bailiff, calling the courtroom to attention in the case of People of Bikini Bottom vs. Mr. Krabs. Honorable Judge Horace A. Whopper presiding. Lily, SpongeBob, and friends all testified for the prosecution, and Lily presented a slideshow of all the horrible crimes Mr. Krabs has done to everyone in Bikini Bottom, including Plankton. It was a mind-boggling and overwhelming testimony, and everyone explained how bad Mr. Krabs is to the core. The corrupt business owner is worse than Plankton. After everything was done, it didn't take long for the jury to reach a verdict. Judge Whopper, has the jury reached a verdict? Harold, we have your honor. We the jury find the defendant Eugene Harold Krabs guilty on all charges. Judge Whopper, very well. Eugene Krabs? Mr. Krabs, your honor. Judge Whopper, as punishment for your actions, you are hereby sentenced to 15,523 years of the following events. The plaintiff, SpongeBob SquarePants, receives full ownership of the Krusty Krabs permanently. Mr. Krabs, in his head, no. Judge Whopper, all the items on the Krusty Krabs menu will be given out for free for the first 96 hours of your sentence. Mr. Krabs, no. Judge Whopper, all of the counterfeit money you manufactured, and the printing press you used, will be confiscated and destroyed, on camera. Mr. Krabs, no. Judge Whopper, a collaboration between Bikini Bottom's Best Mime and Doggy Williams will be shown live at the Krusty Krab. Mr. Krabs, no. Judge Whopper, and to top it all off, not only will you be forced to watch this for yourself, but once you reach the halfway mark, you will pay Lily Loud, SpongeBob SquarePants, Sandy Cheeks, Patrick Star, and Mrs. Puff $500,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000,000 in restitution each, and spend the rest of your sentence and your miserable and cheap life in the Bikini Bottom federal prison system without the possibility of parole. Mr. Krabs. Judge Whopper. Court is adjourned. Bangs gavel, take him away. The guards took Mr. Krabs away. Lily, this is what you get, Mr. Krabs. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Lily still works for the Krusty Krabs, and now Mr. Krabs is a convicted criminal and a disgraced cheapskate. The Krusty Krabs were made better than ever, and Lily got a great pay raise. A new law was later made that said that being a cheapskate will never be tolerated in Bikini Bottom and is now a federal offense punishable by eternity in prison. All the cheapskates were run out of town and exiled into the Bikini Badlands for all eternity, where they will die of dehydration. Never to touch a single red cent or dollar bill ever again. SpongeBob now owns the Krusty Krabs, and he was now filthy rich along with Sandy, Patrick, and Mrs. Puff. Mrs. Puff still loves Mr. Krabs regardless. Afterwards, the Krusty Krabs merged and became a bigger restaurant than ever. Mr. Krabs was taken to the Ross Ice Shelf Maximum Security Federal Prison where he will spend the rest of his miserable life in prison without the possibility of parole. Mr. Krabs is now declared the most hated creature in all of Bikini Bottom and all of the 7 seas. He will never touch a single cent or dollar bill ever again. Every day Mr. Krabs cries in his special cell in solitary confinement knowing that he will never get any amount of money ever again. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Back at the Krusty Krab, Lily was finishing up her talk with SpongeBob. Lily, okay Mr. Squarepants, I'll see you next week. SpongeBob, good night Lily. Lily went back home. She came through a portal to her room and was dripping wet. Lily, well that was an eventful and extremely profitable week. Lily hung up her hat and went to the shower to clean off all the salt water. Outside the bathroom we were all waiting. Lori, come on Lenny, hurry up. Other people have to use the bathroom too. Lenny, I'm right here Lori. Lori, oh sorry Lenny. Wait. If you're not using the bathroom then who is? Lily came out and she was wearing her lavender robe and a towel in her hair. Lily, sorry guys. I was. Lori, oh hey Lily. Lincoln, we didn't see you come in or head to the bathroom. Lily, sorry guys. I was showering after being in the ocean for 7 days. Have to get all that salt water off and I just got home from work 30 minutes ago. I have quite a story for you all. Lori, we'll have to hear it when we're done. Lynn, I'll bet it's a great one. Lily, it is Lynn. Lily went back to her room to get dressed. After everyone was done with the bathroom we sat at the dining room table and we heard everything from Lily. We were floored and shocked. Me, that is unbelievable. Very, I can't believe that Mr. Krabs is that despicable. Golly was looking over the long rap sheet of crimes that Mr. Krabs did and she was horrified. Golly, I can't believe that Mr. Krabs was doing all this and no one ever suspected it. Irma, but I'm glad that Cheapskate is now behind bars for the rest of his worthless life. Luan, he sure was crabby. Laughs, get it? But seriously, he was by far the worst of the worst. We laughed at Luan's joke. Me, laughs, that was a good one Luan. Eddie, laughs, good one Luan. Lense, laughs, good one mommy. Me, but yes I agree with you. I can't believe that Mr. Krabs is that much of a skinflint. People like him have no place in this world or anywhere else. Aline C., you got that right. Lynn Sr., but we're very proud of you for exposing that rotten crustacean for what he is, a selfish tightwad. Rita, yes we're very proud of you sweetie. Lily, thanks Mom and Dad. Me, we're all proud of you Lily. And he now has 15,000 plus years to think about his crimes. Luna, you said it dude. Nico, Eugene Harold Krabs you have failed the entirety of the 7 seas. We laughed. It was a better restaurant life for Lily. Megan, to the viewers, remember this everyone, no one likes a cheapskate and people like them are never welcome in the world anywhere. The end. Asterisk asterisk asterisk. Another fanfiction complete. Mr. Krabs is without a doubt the worst ever cheapskate ever to the world. I got the idea for this one out of inspiration from Black Wolf 249's fanfic One Course Meal Alt. Ending remastered. Thanks for the idea and inspiration and credit goes to you for the inspiration. Mr. Krabs may be a cheapskate and has done all kinds of unspeakable crimes but that's what makes him funny and silly. Let me know what you all think. See you all next time.